Stop trading blind. If you don't know whether this market is heading up or about to crash lower, you're gambling. In this session, Coach John shows you exactly how to read market structure, pivot zones, and session-by-session futures moves, so you trade with the real momentum instead of hoping. Watch this.
This is something you just want to make at least once a week. You should be looking at this to get a feel for where the market is trending. And I really do. I think the 4-hour and the 30-minute are very reliable for doing that. So let's look at. So here's some interesting divergence. So you notice kind of SPY, okay, right? But you see it kind of sold off into the afternoon. See here in QQQ, see how kind of relatively weak these are. I mean, you did get the buyers did step in and buy at this level here, which is good. But notice sellers took over up here. So we need to see something close up into here. Same thing for QQQ. But look how much stronger IWM is. IWM is already closed up into that resistance. See the difference? See how that complete reversal. So again, but still the same test. That's a good sign, right? It's closed up into resistance. But I want to see this high get broken, right? Because let's look at our fib from here, right? That's the high here that broke this low right here. We didn't get a 50% retrace until right here. So price came down, established this high, hitting the road to Tennessee. Oh, awesome, man. And then you can see finally broke low here. So this high ultimately needs to get broken. This is right around the 238, 239 mark. So the good sign is, we had a pretty strong rebound today that closed up inside this resistance. But to be really, really confident, I would love to see this support area and this turnaround confirmed as support, and I also want to see this high broken. So that's kind of what we're looking at there for those. So I'm now going to talk about how I use higher time frame mapping for day trading. Okay, I'm going to use the example of Apple. This is the current chart for Apple.
There's a trading strategy most people have never heard of, and it's quietly making traders profitable every single week. The Vault is our free trading community where you'll learn the triple line method, a strategy that's helped thousands of traders finally become consistently profitable. Inside the Vault, you will get structured trading courses from the basics all the way to funded accounts and our 3-phase system, plus live trading sessions every single week. Real trades, real setups, real traders, all in real time. To get access, all you have to do is comment Vault below and we'll send it to you for free. That's it. There's no catch. I don't need your credit card. Just comment the Vault and let's get you inside.
Something I use is what I call pivot zone. So let's start at the beginning, right? Here's Apple. We had this nice rally. You could argue from here, right? From here, right? This is what I call base, right? Where you had this rally, this big move start, okay? Which broke these highs, right? So again, I'm on the 30-minute time. So we know at this point we're in an uptrend, right? So we should be playing long. So what I like to do is once I kind of figure out where my base low is, you could argue for putting your base here, but that's fine. I'll kind of use my fib to kind of mark where, if I'm looking at a potential 50% retrace, where that might happen. Now, as you can see in this case, price never came down to this, right? We've been kind of in this, balance area right here, along here, right? You can kind of see, the square? Just kind of think about geometric shapes, right? You can kind of see that square forming right there. That's a plastic consolidation. Now, what I like with pivot zones, it's about kind of understanding where runs start, right? So you had a run start here, and then notice you had a run start from here down to here, and then a run start from here all the way up to here. And then notice this is classic. Stocks aren't always this clean in terms of, but you'll see along this line here, see that? This is where you see the run starting up. And a lot of times you'll see the speed will be down here, right? We know there's buyers here. And at the same token, we know up here, our price tends to pivot back to the downside. Sellers are here. So if I'm day trading, I really want to focus my opportunities when price gets down to this zone. I'm gonna look for a demand zone, right? That I can trade off of to trade longs going up. Can you see the speed? Like right here, see that move there? You see this move here? Like always 100% clean, but you can see there's a lot of circumstances where you get speed right at that pivot zone. Same thing on the upper end. Where's your speed to the downside? It's there. You could play this as balance. If you're swinging, yes. For a swing trade, yes. But this is more, what I'm calling day trade. So let's say, for example, in this situation here, you got this supply zone map here, right? There's your supply, right? 30-minute supply. Now, if I went back to here, now, as you can see here, probably because price started all the way down here, this is not ideal for a trade, right? You want to see price start up at or near. But just to give you an idea of how these things work, look at the speed of that reaction. Boom. It's like it hit a freaking wall. You can see here, I mean, you got two consecutive lower lows. You could have gotten in on this retrace here. This would be a late in the day, which I'm not a big fan of, but could have a nice trade, right? That's a 2.4 hour trade, right? See that? So you want to, the main thing I'm trying to get at is you understand where these areas are, where the runs stop and start, right? You see you had a sell off here, it came down to here, right? Then it pivoted and came up. Now, of course, in this case, it didn't go all the way up here, it kind of came back down. But you can kind of get the point, right? You can see a lot of the runs start here and the runs south start up here. And that is where your velocity of your trades are going to be. So let's talk about futures. Futures had me tied knots for a lot. I've kind of finally figured out how to look at it from a higher time. Futures, if you kind of compare and contrast stocks options with futures are always repricing information. It is 24/7 repricing information. So it's a constantly fluid dynamic. So you can't go back. It's harder to go back on past like we did here, right? We kind of Walmart, or we look way back in time, right, to get structure. Futures, you're really looking at session to session trend. Can y'all see stuff on my screen? Okay, so let's talk about futures. So futures is more about session to session progression. So let's look at an example with gold. Okay, so I got MGC set up. As you see here, I always start with, unless there's some big, now we did have a big move in this case in the London session. You see right here. You can see right here, sometimes when you get like a big move in one session, it will create what I call like a range bound condition where it may try to consolidate within that for a while. So you do have to be careful with that. But generally, what I look at is, first of all, what happens during the Tokyo, and then see how the London treats it, right? Does the London session respect a high of the Tokyo, or break it and continue to the upside, or break it to the downside? As you can see here, the London tested basically a little supply zone in the Tokyo, which it supported. And then, as you can see here, kind of worked its way down, retraced, and then made a potential opportunity for a short here on the way down. Then you can kind of see here the same thing. Again, the Tokyo worked its way down. Then you see it reverse course during the London. It broke the Tokyo high, right? Then that gives you your cue to lean on longs for the rest of the trading session. In this case, you see here, you had a nice break of structure here, new high, had an opportunity potentially for a retrace to go long. This is around 11 o'clock on that day to go long on gold, right? Potential, basically called market structure play, right? Where you look at that break of structure, right? You'd use your fib from that low to that high, get in that 50 or 60% retrace to go long. Again, and it's not fail proof. As you can see here, you had kind of a similar thing here where Tokyo set a high, the London broke it, but then see how the New York just reversed. So it's not 100%, but at least gives you a pretty good ballpark idea, trend-wise, how to trade the session. So I always look at how does the London trend with the Tokyo? Is there a clear trend? Now, sometimes you get what I call inside days. In this case, you see here where the Tokyo had a pretty good sized range where it kind of had a top, reached the bottom, and then you see how the London stayed inside that. When you see that happen, and then you see these sessions, no session breaks it, then you play that like balance. You can kind of see where I kind of drew these little pivot zones on top and bottom, and then you look for opportunities to trade supply or demand zones that are aligned with the upper and lower limits of that area of consolidation. How would you determine the bias of the day for futures or options? Options. Okay. So again, as you know, I had a bias set up today, which did not pan out. So I'll kind of talk a little bit about that. I mean, I look at it based on the higher time frames. I think I was looking to go long. So Amazon, because I was basically counting on a reaction at this base demand here, right? Because I knew in a higher time frame, right, I had this base that kind of created this high up here. So I was looking, even though I know the market has been trending down to this point, I'm waiting for there to be a pivot, right? I'm expecting a pivot. In this case, the pivot did happen, right? But it blew out that demand zone zone I was looking to trade. I was looking to trade this demand zone right here. This sometimes happens, right? You may get the overall trend of the day right, but you just don't get a tradable opportunity. In this case, it opened below that demand, so I didn't trade. I think the same thing for Meta happened. Actually, Meta did have a little bit of a better opportunity here. Meta, what I was looking to have happen was this area of consolidation to get broken. See, it started way up here. When it does this and it starts showing that downside market structure, I'm trading 9 times out of 10, just because I know from history, that's the window I'm trading from like 9:30 to 10:30. If I don't see like what I would have wanted to see if I was going to trade this is something like this, right? Maybe I was looking for a bounce off of this consolidation area and then some kind of immediate upside structure. That clearly did not happen, right? So even though it eventually did recover, my trading window was from like 9:30 to 10:30. And so once it already A, opened up too high, and B, had that, it's like it's done. The deal's done. Same thing I think for Nvidia. And I was looking for a bounce at this demand and it just blew right through it. You can see it did kind of recover, although it sold off. You can see it's really, this is like, to me, this is nothing. I mean, there's really no, I mean, if this had finished up higher, let's go to 4 hours. Look at that topsy-turvy. Look, it kind of came down, reversed, but look at what the second half did. To me, that is indecision. I want to see something like this. See that 4 hour sequence right here? Boom, boom. This is just garbage. But anyway, in terms of bias, I look at this higher time frame and then I see, is it at a opening at a key pivot zone, right? But I'm still looking for a reaction. In this case, it blew right through it. So my thesis was invalid at that point. Which prop firm do we best to start off with? We work with, there's Blue Guardian, that's correct. Yeah, Blue Guardian is, we have a discount code with them. I would message our assistant, I'm trying to remember her name now. We got a new customer service rep. I like Top Step as well. Personally, I use Top Step is what I use. But again, you just use what works best for you. Find her name. Give me 1 second. Oh, it's Reem at Customer Success. So I'm gonna put that in our DM as well, so you got that for reference. You could ask her about it for a discount on Blue Guardian. Personally, just to keep it simple, stupid, I would just go with one, right? Because you just want to keep it. Another thing I also recommend, Dion, is paper trade first. You can literally model trading on. Let's go to it right now. Let's say I wanted futures, paper trading. Okay, so and you can actually set up on TradingView what your account size is. So I can say, let me go to. I'm just going to reset my account just for the heck of it. Really matters. So let's say because a lot of them start off with 50,000, so you can say 50,000 as your base, and you say reset. Okay, so now I'm trading $50,000 account. I can let's say I want to get in on a trade on, this is real time because the market's still open for the next 20 minutes. There you are. So you can see it move. Let's say, okay, I want to buy for some reason. I'm not saying you should do this. Let's say I want to buy. All right, I'm in this trade right now as we speak. I can set my stop loss right here. All right, profit target up here. And it's literally modeling my trade like I'm trading on a prop firm. What I would recommend before you join a prop firm is you do this first, right? Because this doesn't cost you anything. Get good at it first. Then once you know you got some success, a track record of success, then join the prop firm and do the the challenge account. Because otherwise, if you're not successful yet, right, you're just throwing your money away. You don't want to do that. Close that position. So let's say I got closed out. I had an $8 loss. So hit close, and boom, you can see order history. There you go. Orders, trading journal. Balance history shows I lost $12 on the day. So you can do pretty much almost everything you could do, again, as far as paper trading. I would do that to start off with on TradingView. And then once you know you've got some consistency winning, then actually join the prop. Okay, good. Awesome. So if you've been doing that, okay, so anyway, trading out different futures and stocks. Yes, they are different. Futures, again, of course, weekends are different. Weekends are closed, right, on Saturday and Sunday. Then on Sunday at 6 o'clock, the pre-Asian market starts, right? Asian kicks off at 8:30, runs to 1:30. It shuts down. Then there's that kind of in-between period. It's still running, right? It's not an Asian or London session. London session kicks in at 3:30. You can get all the way. So you basically trade futures from 6 p.m. Sunday afternoon all the way till 5 p.m. Monday, right? And then it'll start again at 6 o'clock Monday evening and then run all through the night. Let me show you. I do want to show you guys a trade I took. There actually has two trades that were pretty nice. I can you see it kind of highlighted here. This is a good example of what I mean by session to session progression. Let me go here. So you can see here, see how the Tokyo, okay, kind of set a range, right? This didn't become important until between the Tokyo session and the London. See how we had this breaker structure where price came down and broke the low of the Tokyo session. Notice I wasn't really watching this. If this low broke, what all I cared about was the low of the Tokyo session. So once I saw that break, I said, okay, now I'm leaning to my bias to the downside, right? That's telling me that likely things are going to progress to the downside. So what do? You wait for that retrace, right? This is using that kind of market structure continuation tool that Hector talked quite a bit about, our coaches. So you kind of watch, followed it down to this point right here, right? Price came down. Once I got past that 50% retrace to this zone here, had an entry opportunity. Well, actually, I'm sorry, I had another low. Once we got the second retrace, got in here on this retrace and then got out. Again, it's a good example of see how there's a range in the Tokyo. The London breaks it to the downside, which gives you that downside bias for trading the London session. And that's what ended up working out in that situation.